చిట్టుబాబు అది చిట్టుబాబు we have to start process developing the SOPs for this Aparna project. మీట్లో ఉన్నారు మీరు. హలో
సార్,
అపర్ణది ఎస్ఓపిస్
ఆల్రెడీ అంటే చెక్ లిస్ట్ చేసేది సార్. యాక్చువల్ గాను
నాకు కూడా ఒకసారి షేర్ చేయండి.
షేర్ చేస్తాను, ఇవాళ షేర్ చేస్తాను, ఇప్పుడు చేస్తాను.
Good morning to all the viewers. Welcome back to the stage 2 of LEAP lecture series. Aryan. Good morning to all the viewers. Welcome back to the stage 2 of LEAP lecture. Subramaniam, Arbaz Parvez. In fact, ఇది ఇక్కడ ఇదివరకు నేను డైరెక్ట్ ఫేస్బుక్ చూసేవాడిని కదా, నాకు తెలిసేది. ఇప్పుడు వేరే ఫోన్లో చూడాల్సి వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ కనపట్లేదు ఫేస్బుక్లో ఎవరు వస్తున్నారు. రమేష్, గీత, ఇంకా 7 minutes ఉంది చిట్టుబాబు. మీకు పూర్ణచందర్. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll put it here. Okay. మీకు రికార్డింగ్ వస్తుందా చిట్టుబాబు?
నాకు యాక్సెస్ ఇవ్వాలి సార్. యాక్చువల్లీ
కోహోస్ట్ చేయనా?
కోహోస్ట్ చేస్తే వస్తుంది.
ఎందుకన్నా మంచిది, మిమ్మల్ని కోహోస్ట్ చేస్తా. ఏది రావట్లేదు కోహోస్ట్ చేయడం. సువర్ణ, కంబ్లీ. Yeah, Aryan, I am also happy to be back to connect with you all. Rohan Reddy, welcome. And the difference is this time I am able to share my screen. No camera on my phone. Rakesh, Kashappa. ఇది ఎలాగ రావట్లేదు చిట్టుబాబు కోహోస్ట్ చేయడానికి. మేక్ ఏ హోస్ట్, మేక్ కోహోస్ట్. ఓకే, మిమ్మల్ని కోహోస్ట్ చేశారు చిట్టుబాబు.
ఓకే సార్.
సో మీరు జాకీర్ హుసేన్, మల్లికార్జున్, బోయినపల్లి, ఆల్ ఫెమిలియర్ పీపుల్. సూర్య తేజ, ప్రణవ్ పాటిల్, It's a coincidence, Chittubabu. Today is Tole Ekadasi.
అవును సార్.
Without knowing, I did it.
Auspicious day and we started.
Yeah. రీచ్ ఎంత ఉందో ఇది ఫేస్బుక్ రీచ్ ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? మీరు ఫోన్లో ఉన్నారా?
ఫోన్లో లేదు సార్, నేను ల్యాప్టాప్లో ఉన్నాను.
Yeah, this time Ramesh, this time I'm using Zoom and live streaming to Facebook. I struggled a lot earlier. Now that we have a Zoom license, we are able to do it. Hari Prasad, good morning. Banu Teja. వాయిస్ క్లియర్గా ఉందా చిట్టుబాబు?
క్లారిటీ ఉంది.
నాయిస్ ఏం లేదు కదా?
ఏం లేదు.
ఓకే. సాయిరామ్. ఎవరిది?
నేను డిఆర్కే సార్.
హాయ్ డిఆర్కే, వెల్కమ్. టవర్ సేవలు ఎవరు రాలేదు, వాళ్ళకి అన్ని తెలుసు అనుకుంటా.
పెట్టారు కదా,
ఫ్లైట్ ఉంటే ఎక్కమా చిట్టుబాబు? 7:30 ఫ్లైట్ ఉంటే వెళ్ళమా? హాయ్ సాయి కిషోర్, భానుతేజ, వెల్కమ్ యూ ఆల్. వెరీ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. అనదర్ 2.5 minutes. పేరు పెట్టు రామకృష్ణ, ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? గెలాక్సీ M30 అని వస్తుంది నీది. నీ పేరు పెట్టు అక్కడ. అనంత్ వాట్స్, యా, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్, వెల్కమ్. Anant, you are from Bihar. We had a lot of challenges executing these towers projects in Bihar. We had reinforcement without concrete, concrete without reinforcement. Abhilash. Chandru. Antaratane. Hi Sridhar Babu, why don't you come in Zoom here? I know 7:30 is a big challenge for everyone, but I choose morning rather than later because I thought I'll capture you all with fresh mind.
Definitely, that's true, sir.
Yeah. Alekya, Gollapudi, Sanjay, Nasa, Rohit, Sunny, welcome you all. We'll be starting now. So, good morning to you all. Today's topic, very important and close to my heart. I always say this. I don't know which topic is not close to my heart. Cell phone towers. It's a way back in 96, Government of India has privatized the communication. Till then, only BSNL DOT used to execute the towers. So for me also, I was in the beginning of my career. 94, I started my company, and 96, this privatization started. Till then, I did only one communication tower, BSNL, for BSNL. So with that little, yeah, sorry, somebody is Voice is coming, Chittibabu. You have to mute all. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I am on Zoom also. That's why I'm getting little disturbance. Chittibabu, you should keep muting all so that I'll not be disturbed. Yeah. So 96 we started designing the communication towers, and we had a lot of challenges designing these towers. We had to develop a lot of new process for design of communication towers. So today I'll be sharing all that experience. So this is the overview of my presentation. Introduction, contribution to industry. That's where I said that because we are the first people to design these towers, so we had to develop a lot of SOPs and SLAs for towers. So it is a huge experience for our company. And I will explain the types of towers. I'll explain the planning and design process, optimization of tower design, and a TowerCAD software which we use for design of these towers, foundation design, implementation of the towers, project management, because we used to get clients asking us that time in 96, 98, 21 days is the lead time. From the time they sign agreement for lease, in 21 days, the site has to be live on air. So that was the biggest challenge, and we had to develop the process for handing over the sites in 21 days. And inspection, quality control, and quality audit. When it is fast track, your demand on quality control and quality assurance will be much higher. And failures also happened. Many people whoever has not followed the process, the towers have failed, and we had to do that failure analysis, and we had to give the retrofitting or strengthening measures for those sites. I'll be sharing that experience today. And certification and testing of prototype towers. So towers is the only area where we will test the design, prototype, the real tower. And finally, I'll share our projects. So this is the overall topic overview today I'll be talking about. So we have developed a tower design standardization. It is not that we design the tower for every site. And in our company, Satyavani Projects, we have designed almost like 2.7 lakh location towers all over India. You can imagine the challenge we have. Tower design checking we did, and bid documents for procurement, design of special towers, and inspection and certification of towers, and project management. These are all our capabilities, even power transmission. I'll be taking a separate lecture on transmission. So today I'll be focusing on only the microwave towers and cellular towers. Necessity of towers, we all know that if we are using our phone today, if we are using the data today, it is because of these towers which are standing. And there is two ways of networking these towers. One is microwave, that is big dish you see, and another is optic fiber. So both ways, because optic fiber also you can't depend 100%, and microwave also you can't depend 100%. So there is a redundancy in the network always. So there will be radio transmission is what we get. Radio signal is the one, and we have GPRS, we have CDMA, we have now 4G, and next going to 5G technology. And television transmission, FM radio, also we have done many towers. I'll be sharing that expertise. Air traffic control towers for the aircraft in the airports also we do. And floodlight stands in stadiums and at large flyover intersections. So this also come under this similar category of towers. So there are so many types of towers that are possible for us to come across to design. Power transmission, which I'll share separately, tower test setups, derricks and crawler cranes, oil drilling masts, overhead water tanks. So all these will come under lattice towers. So we design these lattice towers, and today I'll be sharing the details of this design of these towers. So, as I said, in '96 we started designing of these towers. There were no standards, so we decided, as a company responsible, we decided to document the process of design of towers. So we conducted a tower convention in 2002. We brought together all the stakeholders like Bureau of Indian Standards, IIT, SCRC, and the end users and telecom companies. All together, we conducted one-day workshop where we have presented the process and we documented, and we even published that book. And I even presented this process in international conferences like Singapore, Italy, and finally we conducted the training and conferences. We trained the engineers in this area. I have to wait because I'm seeing the Facebook display is bit delayed. So you must be getting bit late. So from now on, I'll see in my Facebook and talk. So training and conferences we conducted, and finally we have published a book on communication towers. So you can refer to this book, wherein we documented the complete design and implementation of towers. Whatever process we are following, whatever I'm explaining today, this is going to be available in the text in the book. So this book is available with us. If anyone wants, we can share this book also. So this is the documentation we did for design of towers, and the papers I published in international conference in retrofitting, which I'll be sharing today. I'll be explaining that retrofitting also, how to strengthen the tower without disturbing the on air, like the tower which is serving for communication, we have strengthened. That is the challenge I'll be explaining today. So the first part of my talk, that is the tower design. The tower design is the most challenging thing, actually, because it is a lightweight. That means a 80-meter tower will weigh about 40 tons. That is lightweight in terms of structural weight, actually. That means 100 kgs per meter. 500 kgs per meter is the approximate weight of the towers we design. And it's a really challenging task to design these towers because of the wind loads. Wind load is the critical in the design of these towers. So I'll be explaining these types of communication towers. We deal with the design parameters for communication towers and tower geometry and design of communication tower, soil investigation, building certification. That means in communication particularly, because the cell phones are most required in urban areas. In urban areas, you don't get a land to erect the ground-based towers. So already you will have the buildings up to 20 meters, 30 meters height building. So we install the tower on top of the building. So building certification is required to install these towers. So in implementation, we have the process of site acquisition. We have to identify the site where we can erect these towers, tower fabrication, galvanizing, and tower assembly, tower erection, inspection, quality assurance, and quality control, operation and maintenance. So this is the total life cycle of the tower design and implementation process. So in communication towers, we have self-supporting towers, we have guide towers, we have the monopole, and based on cross-section of the tower, we have square-based towers, we have rectangular-based towers, we have triangular-based towers, we have delta shape, that means a triangle in triangle, and hexagonal base and polygonal, even octagonal base we have designed. I'll be sharing these details with you today. And based on material sections that we use towers, we have angular towers, that means angles. We use equal angles and unequal angles. Hybrid towers, that means leg can be tube, circular tube, or square tube, or rectangular tube. Bracings and angles, and greenfield towers. So based on placement of the tower, greenfield means they are also called ground-based. That means we install the tower on the ground. We erect the tower on the ground with a foundation, and we have also rooftop towers. That means on a building we install the tower. So I'll be sharing all these details today. So caudal provisions in design of communication towers. There are big challenges in caudal provisions because we only have IS 875, which defines the general loading considerations, wind and self-weight. So the challenges that we have is there is no dedicated code. That's why we documented this design of towers by publishing a book as a manual, so that it can become a code at one point of time, because already it is 24 years we have been designing these towers, and there are more than 2 lakh towers standing designed by us. There are total 5 lakh towers in our country. And so selection of configuration of tower is the first step on the tower, like wind load on tower. The biggest challenge is drag coefficient. Tower is not just a structure. It will have ladders, it will have the platforms, it will have the antennas. So calculation of the loads on these antennas, the only way we have is a catalog. There is no other research done to exactly calculate the loads on antennas in combination with the tower. So it's again scope for research. That's what I'm trying to say. And analysis of tower for the loads mentioned above, and design of tower members according to codes of practice. This is another thing. We have IS 800 for design of steel members, and buckling is a challenge in the design for compression. This is the wind load map of India, and you can see this is the wind zones. Coastal zone is the 50 meters per second, and northeast north we have this 55 meters per second. That means 200 kilometers per hour. And this yellow zone is 39 meters, and this is Bangalore and all, it is 33 meters. So this is north, broadly it is 170 kilometers per hour. And Gujarat coast also is 180 kilometers per hour. So this is the, and this is this is 44, that is 160 kilometers per hour. And we have, these are all the wind zones which we have to design for. Like that, any country we design, we have to collect the wind zone map for understanding the wind speeds in different countries. We had the opportunity to design towers across the globe, like New Zealand we did, US we did, and Europe we did, Africa we did. And so this is the way we have to consider. And design parameters, tower type guide or self-supporting, we have to collect this data, height of the tower. This is a communication requirement, at what height you want to have microwave line of sight, and then we have to have radio mast for radio signal to be spread to the area we are targeting. Type of tower, greenfield or rooftop, depending on the location. Cross section of the tower, design codes, base width of the tower is going to determine the weight of the tower. Factor of safety required for the design. In fact, it is a misnomer. Normally, we use it as a overload factor. And angle of twist or sway. In communication towers, this is very important factor, twist and sway, because the microwave signal will be lost if the twist is more than half degree, and the sway is more than half degree, and twist is more than, sway is 1 degree and the twist is 0.5 degrees, like that. So it will be defined by the operator. It is not our what you call caudal provisions. H by 500 or H by 100 is also permissible in lattice towers, in bolted towers, but still we have to check this twist and sway in the towers. And numbers and location of antenna. There are different types of antenna. I'll be sharing that detail. Type of climbing facility, is it a ladder or a climbing shaft? and fall arrest safety system or cage for the ladders, and the position of ladder inside or outside the tower, location of platforms at the different levels. We need stay platforms for the towers for maintenance, because you cannot climb 80 meters tower in one go. And they're all monkey ladders, you know. If you ever climb the tower, you will know you have to climb with your arms, so holding the tower and climbing this. So that is a real challenge. So you need a stay platform as per the safety provision at every 10 meters height. So tower anatomy, you will have the panels in the tower. So you will have the back marks in the angles. You have the legs. You have the diagonals and bracings. You have the horizontals. You have diamond bracings in the plan, and you have redundants. That means secondary bracings. You have the gusset plates for joint connections. You have the cover plates, and you have the cleats for splice connections. You have climbing ladder, you have the cable ladder, you have the cable ladder is for waveguide, you know. The communication tower, you'll have the microwave dish or GSM antenna at the top. So you need to connect these antennas with the cable. And we also provide step boards for the maintenance and rest platforms. So these are all the terminology I'm just defining. Rest platform means, or it is also called stay platform. That is, whenever we climb the tower every 10 meters, you need a rest platform or stay platform. This is as per the safety requirement. And working platforms, that is wherever we provide these antennas, GSM or CDMA or microwave, we need the working platform for operation and maintenance. And mounts for GSM, mounts for microwave, mounts for GSM or CDMA, and templates for erection of the tower, bolts and nuts and washers. We use spring washers and pack washers for maintaining the surface or plane of the tower surfaces. And we have stubs for erection of the tower, stitch plates and base plates, anchor bolts, stiffeners, flange plates, pack plates, and bracket members. So many items or materials are used in these towers. Next is the railing for the working platform, checkered plate, or you have this mesh on the platforms also, welded wire mesh, and flats we use, and anchor plates we use, and antennas we use, aviation lamp. Aviation lamp is aviation obstruction lamp, it is called, because we build always 80 meters, 100 meters tower. You need to provide these aviation obstruction lamps. Aviation painting also, red and white color. We have to put so that the aircraft pilots will be able to locate the tower. And lightning arrestor, because these are all high towers, you need a lightning arrestor to earth the lightning charge. So design of communication towers, which will be explaining computation of loads, and soil investigation to be conducted. Type of soil, normally we divide in towers. Bearing capacity is not important because the weight of the structure is not critical. And so we have to use basic categories of the soils like sandy soils, normal soils, clay soil, soft disintegrated rock, or hard rock. These are the 5 categories. And water table is very important in the foundation design of the towers, whether it is a submerged soil, or whether it is a dry soil, or it is a wet soil. So soil investigation to be carried out is mainly to establish these 2, angle of repose or angle of internal friction, and bearing capacity, of course, will be required, but not critical. Unit weight of the soil, which is governed by the submergence condition or saturation condition of the soil. And preparation of test reports. Building certification. Okay, if it is ground-based tower, you need soil investigation. If it is a rooftop tower, we'll see a lot of towers and poles on the building. So for that, we conduct this process we devised. Non-destructive testing of the buildings, ultrasonic pulse velocity for the concrete grade, and a profometer for identifying the location of the reinforcement, and partial destructive tests like core recovery. Wherever we have doubtful results, we should also go for partial destructive, that is core recovery tests. And the certification of the building and the strengthening of the building if required. All this we have done. in the cities. To my shock, first when we did 20 buildings in Hyderabad, very important buildings also, we found a lot of deficiency in the structural capacity of those buildings. And design of foundations, we consider the type of loads on foundations, basic design. Basically, uplift on the foundation is critical in the tower design, and uplift is resisted by the overburden soil. So overburden soils, unit weight is very important, and water table level. So because the submergence will reduce the unit weight of the soil, we take 9.4 kilonewton per cubic meter as the unit weight if it is submerged, and 14.4 because it is a backfill. You should not take the natural density of the soil. So these are all important things in the design of foundations. We have different types of foundations like raft, we have isolated footing, and I'll be sharing those details. Rivetment for the foundations wherever we do the filling, and for the soil resistance for designing of the foundation, that is the angle of internal friction, and design procedure I'll be sharing. So in implementation, we have site acquisition, properties of soil, groundwater table, nearby power transmission lines, if any, and mines in the vicinity, retaining walls, infrastructure, line of sight, topography of the site, availability of required site dimensions. That is base width of the tower plus width of the foundation and excavation. So we have to have at least, if we have 10 meters base width of the tower, normally 3 to 4 meters will be the footing size. So 14 meters plus 3 meters is the average depth of foundation in the towers, minimum 3 meters. So 3 meters, you will have 1.5 meters. That means you will have 17 meters by 17 meters site requirement for, so you must have a minimum of that site. And rooftop towers, we have to check the stability of the buildings, type of structure, load bearing or framed structure, we have to verify, and power transmission lines, column spacing of the building, building height, age of the building, structural defects in the building, we have to inspect and document with the photograph, stages of construction of the building, and space availability for tower shelter. Normally, tower is not in isolation. Tower will come with communication shelter, DG, panel, electrical panel, earth pits for earthing the lightning, you know, and height of surrounding structures also we have to consider. I have an interesting story about these rooftop towers. I'll share as we move forward. Fabrication process, straightening, hot bending, cropping, shearing, and hot bending, punching and drilling, marking by stencil or die punching, bundling before dispatch. These are all very important steps we defined in our book about this ISO process of verification of this quality. Fabrication tolerances on distances, tolerances on cuts, and permissible deviations, tolerances concerning bolt holes, and fabrication practice, cover to free edge and spacing of the bolts, bolting, washers, lap and butt joints, that is splice, protective coating for lapping surfaces, gusset plate, bracing to leg connections, connection of redundant members, step bolts and ladders. Galvanizing. Galvanizing is the common practice in towers because towers are all steel structures. Corrosion protection is very important, and steel particularly because we use in open areas due to various exposure conditions, it is very important to galvanize the steel. And as per code also, if you galvanize, your minimum thickness is reduced by 1 meter, 1 mm. That means for galvanized parts, leg members and stress members, 5 mm minimum thickness, and unstressed is 4 mm. Whereas if it is not galvanized, it is 6 mm minimum thickness and 5 mm minimum thickness. So galvanizing is very important. The cost of galvanizing per ton is about 8,000 rupees, but still it is worth, because if you see the weight of tower will be very high if you don't galvanize. And preparation for galvanizing, cleaning of castings, pickling, acid pickling we do, rinsing we do, cleaning of strip and continuous galvanizing process, and finally fluxing. Clean surface is very important. I'll take all the questions towards the end. I'm seeing some people are asking questions, but I'll take it at the end. standardizing the process and electrolytic or cold process and metal spraying process, hard dip process. So even after galvanizing, we do the zinc coating and then quality of zinc, aluminum additions and bath temperature, water quenching, centrifuging, thread brushing and post treatment. So these are all the steps in the galvanizing. Testing and inspection. Freedom from defects, uniformity of thickness of the zinc. We even test the thickness of the zinc coating. And a pivoted hammer test for zinc coated fabricated products, knife test for zinc coated, and bend and wrapping test for zinc coated sheet and wire. So these are all the, and finally tower erection. After fabrication, galvanizing, we have methods of erection. We have built up method, we have section method, we have ground assembly method and helicopter method. So these are all the methods of erection for the towers. Tightening of the nuts and punching of threads. That means, and tack welding of nuts. That is, we call locking the nuts, because people can remove these nuts. So we have to punch the threads so that you cannot remove the nuts. And painting of joints in case there is any damage to the surface, we have to do the painting. And checking the verticality of the erected tower. This is a very important thing. And a procedure for setting stubs at the site. Using the template, we do the procedure. And erection defects, improper stub setting, improper tightening of the bolts. These are all the erection defects that are possible. Incoming material inspection, structural steel, zinc fasteners, zinc coating, zinc primer coating and tower accessories. In process inspection. That means during fabrication, we have the inspection checklist and documentation. Rejection is 1% normally accepted rejection in tower fabrication. And inspection and testing of finished galvanizing material and erection process inspection. So we have this quality assurance, quality objective, quality policy, organization of quality control, quality planning, design and drawings, company standards, material management, vendor development and evaluation, pre-production. And O&M, mechanism of corrosion, we have to have a pre-monsoon inspection of these towers during operation and maintenance. And we have to have preventive measures for any collapse. Wherever we found the pre-monsoon inspections are not done, there will be lack of fitness in the tower and there will be failures in the tower, which I'll be sharing. Antennas, types of antennas. We have GSM, microwave, and remote radio units, Yagi antennas, grid pack antennas, panel antenna, patch antenna. So these are all the microwave. This is called with radome. This is called the radome. When you have radome, you will have lesser wind load on the microwave. And these are all the GSM or radio units. What we get internet signal is from this actually, these towers. And these are all the microwave antennas for backbone. And you can see this is a rooftop tower. On the building top, we erect the tower and you can see the ladder and antennas on the top of this tower. So this is called Yagi antenna and patch antenna. And we have these grid antennas. So the loading we consider on the tower, and this is the panel antenna, which is used for internet. So these are all the types of communication tower. Self-supporting tower requires less base area. And guide tower, it is the least, mostly used in police communication, you can see. And these are the monopole towers, which we developed. This is first time in India, we developed this concrete monopole towers. And based on the base, you have the square base, rectangle, triangle, delta, and the hexagonal base towers. We have actually designed all these types of bases in the tower shapes. This is delta actually. You have a delta shape of the tower. That's why we call it delta. And a square base tower, this is a square based and this is a triangular based. You can see this is on rooftop. And this is a delta tower, real delta tower. You will see a lot of these towers in Karnataka on the rooftops. And this is a octagonal base tower. We have designed for Airtel first time. And angular towers, easy to fabricate, require less time for fabrication and erection. The first tower, 80 meters tower, we erected in 1 week time in Gujarat, 80 meters. And hybrid towers, less weight and complicated connection details, but it is optimum weight, but complicated in erection. And so normally greenfield or ground-based towers we use for 30 meters to 200 meters tall, and rooftop towers, the height will be 9 meters to 30 meters. Greenfield towers we use in rural areas and highways, and we use urban areas, this rooftop. Economical, it is less economical, go for greenfield tower, and it is more economical rooftop in cities because of the less rentals. 3-slope tower, 2-slope tower, single slope tower. So these are the slopes in the tower, you can see. Who is this Raju? I am getting disturbed here. Mute it. Chittibabu, I want it to be muted. Raju ji, mute your phone, please. Yeah. So this is the 3-slope tower. We have 3 slopes, which will be economical if you have more slopes. And single slope tower. This is a single slope tower, and this is a straight vertical tower. There is no slope, vertical tower. So tower parts, we have panels, benchmarks, legs, diagonals, horizontals, diamond bracing, redden and gusset plates. So many tower parts. So it is a huge, high inventory. In fact, somebody is asking me why we use monopoles, because to reduce all this inventory. In monopole, you have only one segment. So that is the advantage. Ladders, we have platforms and safety case for ladder. I'll show you in the photographs, that is better. So here you can see there is a ladder and a safety case and a waveguide here, waveguide. This is for fixing the cables. Platforms, we have every 10 meters stay platforms, and if you have for any tower exceeding the 20 meters height. And this is a 90-meter communication tower we designed very optimally. This is used for Idea cellular backbone from Vizag to Hyderabad. This is a most optimum tower. We won the design competition with this design of this tower. And we have, this is a Tata Teleservices all over India backbone. We have designed this tower 100 meters, standardized. And this is another 90-meter communication tower for Vodafone. And these are all Aircel Ericsson. This also I standardized this tower design for Aircel, you know. And this is another 80-meter communication tower which we designed for Tata projects for Gujarat and Maharashtra backbone. We won this also, the tender 100 crore job Tata projects have won because of our design. This is 100-meter FM tower. So normally these towers you see in almost all the cities and towns now. So this is the most challenging design, because at the top, the width of the tower is only 600 mm or 400 mm, that's it. So the challenge is making it deflection compliant. That is the challenge, and these transition zones are very critical, and erection of this tower also is very critical. FM towers. This is in Rajasthan. We had to solve a problem of erection at the top. After erecting, they found that it is tilted, and we had to send our engineer to solve that problem. And this is the RCC monopole, which we developed design. This is called spun concrete. Where the spun concrete, you will get M80 grade concrete, you know, by spinning. Normal mixed design of M40, by spinning, because of the compaction, you will get a strength of M80. This we have designed. And RCC monopole, this is, you can see in the Hyderabad tank bund, on the side of the tank bund, this is used by Vodafone, and this is a 20-meter tower. And this you can see in 2 days, we have finished this tower, pole erection, 40 meters. This is a 40-meter pole, which we have completed in what you call 2 days time. The foundation, The foundation design for this kind of poles is a stem foundation, it is called. The foundation design is done by shear modulus capacity of the soil. So we design, so it's not by bearing, because the movement is very critical in such foundation, and movement resisting foundations is always by shear modulus, the passive resistance of the soil. So this is how we transport each 10-meter segment. And we also designed shell tower because you have shelter for communication. So we have erected the tower on the shelter using 4 corners of the shelter. And this is a hexagonal base tower, octagonal. This is octagonal actually. So we have designed for Airtel, and these are hybrid towers. That is, we use angles and pipes in the hybrid towers. And this is the radio antenna towers. This is used in airports. You will see these towers in airports. You know, the aircraft will get the signal. So we have designed this type of towers also. Regular planning, tower type, guide or self-supporting, we design, and a cross-section of the towers, and type of tower, greenfield or rooftop, type of sections for legs, angles, and tubes. And we also decide on the base width of the tower. Normally, h by 5 to h by 10 is the optimum. But as per IS 875, if your base width is h by 5 to h by 10, you have to do the dynamic analysis. So that's very important. We have to do the dynamic analysis to arrive at the more realistic or accurate gust factors. In towers, I'll explain in the wind design stage. So design and prototype, we have the basic wind speed, survival speed. That means there are 2 types of wind speeds, serviceable wind speed and collapse wind speed. Survival, that is called survival wind speed. Survival wind speed is the wind speed at which tower may not perform the serviceability, but it has to survive. So we have done this kind of, because in coastal regions, you know, nowadays we are seeing the wind speeds exceeding 250 kilometers per hour, whereas as per the code, the basic wind speed is 180 kilometers per hour in the coast. So in such cases, what we do is we do the basic wind speed for serviceability, and we do the survival for that extreme wind conditions beyond the design condition. So these are all the things. Planning and design, tower and accessories also we have to design, and implementation. So tower shape. So these are all the structural drawings we have to prepare for this tower, which have to be very accurate, these drawings, because sometimes we don't have time to check the prototype. The detailing accuracy is very important, because this is all 3-dimensional thing, and we have experts in this detailing, where once we release the drawing, they can just fabricate and erect these towers. So typical structural drawings for ladder. So here you can see this is the ladder, and this is the protection ring, and this is the waveguide. So this is the waveguide actually. So you can see very interesting detailing. And these are the platforms. It's a triangular tower. We have a working platform. Normally these antennas will be at this point, you can see. So we provide the mesh here only for the working platform. And this is the ladder, and this is the protection ring in plan. And we have a waveguide outside this. So you can stand on the tower and then maintain the waveguide. So very interesting things. Quadal provisions, selection and of configuration of tower, computation of loads, calculation of wind load. Now we have IS 875 2015, where the provisions of wind load calculation, we have K1 reliability coefficient or risk coefficient, and terrain coefficient 1.05 varies depending on the terrain, topography factor, and importance factor. So communications, we have to consider 1.15 for the importance factor. So wind load on tower, primarily the wind pressure, design wind pressure. We have the drag coefficient and exposed area and gust factors. So this is the the basic coefficients for design of the towers. Wind load calculation. So this is the wind load calculation on nodes. We calculate total exposed area and lump it on the nodes for analysis like this. So this is panel wise, we lump the wind loads and we analyze the tower for these wind loads applied on each panel. And this is how the tower drawings, design drawings are made. In one drawing, you have all the details like what is the leg member, bracing member, and horizontal, and redundants in each panel. These are all yellow color are all redundants in this, and you can see the platform at different levels and stay platforms along with the ladder. Here you can see the stay platform. Every 10 meters there will be a stay platform. And this is a 90-meter tower and optimization. This is a TowerCAD software which we use for design. We don't have to do any of this. This we developed about 25 years back. For profiling, analysis, design, and report generation for lattice towers. So tailor-made for towers, because in STAAD earlier, latest version has that, but versions you can never do the analysis. We made this tailor-made software, and we can optimize the tower design very easily. Automatic generation of the drawings and reports, bill of quantities also is generated, and the displacement twist and sway is checked, and the facilities of using differential legs. So this is how the software looks. You just select the type of base, microwave or transmission, and these are the base shapes. And then the basic data of the tower, you can select it has got the intelligent pattern library. This is a feature we developed 25 years back, where you have to just say X bracing or K bracing, and we have the redundant pattern library also. So it is very easy. In effect, you can model the tower in half an hour, and you can get the design report in half an hour using this software. So this is a steel lattice tower software. Here you have all the design parameters like LBR limits as per the code, minimum thickness, and buckling curves for less than 120 LBR and greater than 120 LBR, and number of bolts and effective lengths. This also we can define. It will generate automatically, but we can modify this effective length. So this whole sheet, design sheet, is generated automatically. We can design as per IS 802, that's it, transmission, or IS 800, which is the latest steel design code. And we can use high tensile steel and mild steel, and specify which steel you want to use for each category of the. So this is the loading combinations, which is again generated by the software only, and load combinations and a factor of safety you can, or overload factor you can define. And this is the model, 3D model generated by the software. And this is another type of tower 3D model with redundants. You can see the model with redundants also imposed. There is a this we developed in-house, and this is the foundation design. You will also be able to design the different types of foundations like stepped footing or sloped footing or undercut footing. All types of footings you can design the foundations in the same software, and it will automatically take the reactions, uplift, maximum down thrust, and shear, and all that. So in the stepped foundations, we have wet type, wet black cotton type, dry fissured. You have to just mention the type of soil, and then you'll. And somebody was asking me about raft or pile foundation. Both we can use depending on the type of the soil. Pile foundations are used as the last preference because you'll have very few piles, and these locations are all scattered. So we don't prefer going for pile foundation because, as I said, bearing is never critical. So even if you have 5 ton per square meter bearing capacity, you can design a raft in the towers. And hard rock, we have a micro pile kind of thing, rock anchors we use, and undercut foundations also we use. So these are all the foundation design reports generated automatically, and bill of materials generated by the software. And this is the design report. The tension, compression, force, maximum force in the leg, and the net area of the angle after deducting the bolt holes. And L naught is the effective unsupported length, and the radius of gyration, and KL by R. And it will take the allowable stress and actual stress automatically, and factor of safety. Here we have defined 1.5. So wind load calculations, this is the automatically generated by considering the gust response factor, drag coefficient. It will calculate automatically, and it will generate the report. And the wind on nodes, it will for checking in the software what are the loads applied on the nodes. Antenna loads, these are taken from the Andrews catalog, which is a standard. And the foundation of towers, so as I explained, compression or down thrust and uplift, tension or uplift is always critical. Governing condition is uplift in the towers. And limit bearing capacity of the soil, we always use ultimate bearing capacity because these wind loads are always ultimate we are considering. And density of the soil, that is we take backfill the density of the soil, which is as per the code, you should not take more than 14.4 kilonewton per cubic meter dry soil. And it is wet soil or saturated condition is 9.4 kilonewton per cubic meter. Angle of earth frustum, we take to mobilize the soil for calculation of uplift resistance. PCC type foundations are also used without reinforcement where it is lesser load, and we and RCC type undercut. I'll quickly run now. Overturning, uplift, down thrust, uprooting of the angle because for the tension, and a sliding, bearing capacity, side thrust. These are all the things we check for in the stability of the foundation. And pull-out tests we do for some of the foundations, critical foundations. Rooftop towers, loads must be directly transferred to the column. Please note, I have seen some people designing the towers on the beam or slab. Not safe. You have to put the reaction transfer to the columns only. I'll show you some of the failure photographs. And tools and machinery for foundation, vibrator, Q-mold, hopper, miller, design, mix, and dewatering pumps, shuttering and props, and all that. So these are the typical structural drawings for the foundation with the bill of quantities and bar bending schedule, you can see. And this is the pile foundation, what we have used in the towers. Very rarely we use, unless it is what you call black cotton soils. And this is a raft foundation we used in sandy soils. And this is a triangular raft. Somebody was asking me about earthquake resistance. So here you can see wherever earthquake prone zones, we provide these tie beams. That is important. And we design for the, because tower by itself is very safe against earthquake because it has a lot of ductility and energy absorption. And we did a study also in Gujarat, zone 5 earthquake and zone wind zone highest we have in Kutch region. And we found that the earthquake loads on the tower are 1/5 of the wind loads. But foundation, because it is on the ground for what you call liquefaction, resistance and all, we even if you have isolated footing, we will do the tie beam and design for the differential settlement for the earthquake, so that the earthquake forces are not transferred to the tower. So that is the only precaution we have to take for earthquake resistance in the towers. So this is the tie beam, you can see, triangular foundation in Gujarat region only. Please don't consider, these are all bad photographs. I never get good photographs because my quality team will send me bad photographs on. And so these are all the rooftop tower. You can see on the columns, we put the beams and pedestal, and column, we don't transfer the movement because existing building cannot have that buffer of capacity. So we model it as a hinge. It's very important on the rooftop towers. And this is the pedestal on the rooftop, and the base plate, base board, anchor bolts. You can see anchor plate, base plate here. And this is the template. You see the accuracy required for maintaining the position of the board, because otherwise you can't erect the tower properly. So we check this template for level, diagonal, everything, dimensions and all, using the template. This is the general arrangement drawing for the towers. And this is the stub of the tower. You can see the detailing. And so this is the stub during erection. You can see these bearing cleats, anchor cleats actually. And this is the template for ground-based tower. When you have large base, we use this kind of template. This is for only construction, we use the template. And this is the template for normal, smaller base width, you can see. And these are the fabrication drawings of the towers. You see the complexity of this plane, the three-dimensional plane. We do the detailing. And this is the plan bracings. And this is the case of the tower. And these are the shop drawings for these members. We do these shop drawings. You can see every dimension 9 mm and 18.5 mm. That is the kind of dimension tolerance we give. And this is the shop drawings, how we make. And these are the cleats and bent members. You can see the member bent. And see the detailing here, the bent member at slope change in the tower, connection details. And this is the X bracing detail and a prototype. So this is the prototype checklist. And these are all the checklists available. And this is the tower prototype testing. We erect the tower and apply the loads on the tower. And this is the loads applied. And this is the only structures I'm telling you. These towers are the only things structural engineering tested with the actual loads. And the certification by SCRC, CPRI, IITs, and JNTU, we get these towers designs certified and sometimes go for prototype testing also. Project management. It's another big subject. I'm trying to come too many things for towers because it's a specialized field during tender process, quality planning, safety plan, supervision, coordination, project audit. This is RF survey, site acquisition, fabrication, galvanizing, tower assembly, tower erection, inspection, quality control and assurance, operation and maintenance. All these stages we do the towers. You can see this beautiful platform which we designed. This is, we used to make the drawing, the three-dimensional view of the building, shelter, DG, everything in one site. We used to detail to this level. And this is the ground-based tower with a platform, and a platform with antenna mounts and the railing combined. This is the base plate. You can see the prototype erection of the tower. So we check the prototype before dispatch, before approving the shop drawings, you know. This is the prototype, and these are the gusset plates, base plate, and stiffeners. This is another strengthening we did for existing tower. And this is the foundation raft casting before concreting, actually, after putting the reinforcement and shuttering. And these are all the photographs of the sites. Our audit, yeah, this is the audit we do. Yeah, that is the first stage, that is before concreting. We do first stage inspection. Second stage inspection, template fixing. We verify the template. And third stage is after pedestal is cast and wall foundation. Fourth stage is tower audit. We inspect during the erection of the tower. And fifth stage is electrical, like earthing. You can see earth pits and DG connections and battery bank, because all these towers, you need power backup and a secondary power generation also. And electrical audit for panel connections and all, we do these checks also. And final audit is compound wall, security wall and all that. So these are all 6-stage inspection photographs and the final view of the completed site. This is how a ground-based tower looks like, with a communication shelter, air-conditioned 24/7. And this is the rooftop tower. You can see the template checking before concreting the beams and the pedestal. And this is the third and fourth stage tower audit. And this is the electrical audit for shelter and all that. And so we have these checklists all. I'm not sharing those checklists now, but all detailed checklist as per ISO we developed, and measuring the base plate sizes and measuring antenna height and base plate details. These are all bad photographs. And tower health checkup after erection, before monsoon, we do this tower health checkup. Very bad. These are all bad position of the angles. And the safety, so you can see the safety belt, fall arrest, safety helmet. And so this is the checklist for ground-based tower, rooftop poles, and daily progress report. So NDT, so we'll run a bit fast now. We are running out of time. So these are all the antennas, GSM antennas, and these are all the sites for EMF test also we do, electromagnetic field, panoramic view of the site, which are all the things surrounding the site. We verify depending on the angles. Shelter access ladder rusted, fire extinguisher, fire safety, somebody asked. So this is the fire extinguishers for every communication shelter. And there will be automatic detection, fire detection and fire alarm for each of the communication shelters. Safety caps not provided, and checklists for health, safety and well-being audit. Failure analysis. There are so many failures, as I said. This is the tower collapsed due to bad quality of the material, you can see, or the erection. And these are all the failure photographs. We did the failure audits. You can see the bad quality of concrete with reinforcement without anchorage, proper anchorage into the foundation. The tower has collapsed. Almost all over the country, we did Punjab, Haryana, UP, West Bengal, Bihar, all the states, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, collapses happened, and we did the audit failure analysis reports. These are all the tower failures, different types of failures. So we even worked on retrofitting and the strengthening of the, see here you can see middle of the tower has failed. So different failures. Also this itself is one subject. We did about 150 failure analysis reports for the towers. And then we did the retrofitting also, tower loading validation, TLVA we call, validation and analysis, and retrofitting of existing towers we did, and rooftop and ground-based towers. So this is very interesting thing we did. Here you can see retrofitting of the foundation. We have done the raft on top of the ground to increase the uplift resistance of the tower raft actually. And these are the guys we introduced to retrofit the rooftop towers. Because it is very difficult to assess the capacity, the quality of anchorage, we were not sure. So we did about many sites in Madhya Pradesh with this retrofitting. Strengthening, this is another beautiful, I presented in international conference also this methodology of retrofitting existing tower angle with the new pipes, with the new tower pipe, by coupler plates, by adding coupler plates. We use the plastic hinge analysis for suggesting this strengthening. So these are all the towers, strengthening photos of the rooftop towers. You can see the guy ropes added. And these are the towers with the guy ropes. Very interesting strengthening we did. Through software, we have a dashboard for monitoring the ongoing work progress. So this is the software where all the documents will be uploaded. This we did even 15 years back. My engineer on site will take the photograph, it gets uploaded into our server so that the quality photographs cannot be manipulated after. So these are all the documentation we did for project monitoring. So these are all the photos of projects we completed, FM towers, and Salem we did, Kerala, all the states, all over the country. We did very interesting projects. LFP, this is LFP FM tower, recently done. And this is aviation lamp, AOL, I called. This is aviation obstruction lamp. And earthing also is done from the top. So this is the projects executed in international, New Zealand. My team was stationed there for 6 months and executed communication monopoles in New Zealand also. So this is the team, our team is there. And so these are all the international. So thank you very much. Probably I'm overshot by 1.5 minutes, but I have covered the questions. A few questions that I have got were fire safety. Fire safety is required for only the communication shelters which is maintained. And earthquake, I explained, question on earthquake. So if there are any other questions, my team in Zoom, you can also ask questions. You can join Telegram group, invite is there in Facebook. Steel used ISMB or else fabricated steel is also. No, rolled. It is all rolled steel angles only and circular pipes. Detailed requirements of structural auditing of old existing tower. Oh God, that's a big subject. In fact, we do that audit of the existing towers. What is the undercut foundation? Yeah, good question. I didn't explain. Undercut is, see, the tower foundation's uplift resistance is important. So when you have good soils, we don't excavate fully. We excavate under the cut and put the concrete below the soil. So that's called undercut, which will improve the uplift resistance. You can ask me on my mobile phone. I'll explain more in detail. What is the maintenance span of erected tower? Every year, inspection is required for the towers. What are the types of stiffness to be used in tower? We use flat plate stiffeners only, and you have seen wherever you have the flange plates, we have the stiffeners. How to design the foundation for absorbing the vibration? No, actually, vibration specification for elements of sway in tower, sway is 1 degree and twist is 0.5 degree. And design of foundation, vibration is not transmitted to the foundation because it is a bolted tower. So there is a lot of damping available in the tower because these towers are all bolted. Up to what mm tolerance for the base plate is taken? Maximum 5 mm. How tower signal get affected by surrounding building? No, tower signal will not be affected by surrounding building, but obstruction can be there. Otherwise, electromagnetic radiation. We check surrounding buildings for electromagnetic. So we do the EMF studies. What is the top deflection requirement for service wind? As well as maximum critical wind. H by 100 is survival. H by 100 is survival. And for serviceability, we have what you call for communications twist and sway only. No, 800 provision will not be applicable to communication freestanding towers. As per the TIA, L by 250. Yes, sir. Ravi Shankar ji, you have equal experience with me. It is correct. But structurally, we have been following H by 100 for survival for these towers because these are flexible towers. So thank you very much. So it is the first day of 25 lecture series. Pre-stressing, no, we don't use in foundations. We have not used actually, but it can be. How much amount rent is paid to the building society? It varies depending on the location and the city. To my knowledge, it varies from 10,000 to 25,000 per month rent for the building, for the tower. Shall we get the communication towers? Yeah, you can write to me. My phone number and email ID is there. Yeah, we charge for this book. Yeah, are rooftop towers recommended in earthquake zone? Yes, why not? In fact, yeah, this is a good question, Vishu. Actually, in Gujarat, there were in earthquake, post-earthquake, I was called by the Idea Cellular people because one building collapsed and another building was staying. So the people in the survived building were worried that the building without tower itself has collapsed. On our building, we have a tower. So we are worried. I went and explained the fact that your building has stayed means we certified your building. And the tower acts as a damping element, because of the difference in the frequency of the building and the tower. So only worry they had was vibration transmitted because of the DG and the tower. So we solved that, but that building. So it is always important. We have a tower on the top of the building. You see almost all the skyscrapers, whether it is Burj Khalifa or you have these Petronas towers, all buildings will have on the top steel structure. In fact, that will help damping the frequency. It will reduce the dynamic loads on the structure. So it will help resisting the earthquake. Good question, Vishu, Vaishu. Thank you. So I'll conclude now. Thank you very much. So we'll have every day 7:30 to 8:30 these lectures on different topics which I shared in Facebook. So try to take some good time because it's a lockdown period still in Hyderabad. I'll be continuing this till 29th July. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Okay, thank you all. Bhaskar,
Recording
can
start
you,
చేశాను సార్. రికార్డింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేశాను. అది భాస్కర్
రికార్డింగ్ మీ లోకల్ అవుతుందా సార్?
నేను చేశానండి యాక్చువల్గా.
సర్లేండి, నేను ఫేస్బుక్ లైవ్ లో డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకుంటాను సార్.
ఓకే
నేను పంపిస్తాను.
Okay.
Sir, after that streaming, I should come to know. Then I have to start next session.
No, streaming అక్కర్లేదు. ఇది ఫేస్బుక్ కదా శ్రీధర్.
సార్ లేదు సార్, మీ లోకల్ రికార్డింగ్ స్ట్రీమింగ్ కంప్లీట్ అవ్వాలి సార్. సెషన్ స్టార్ట్
నేను చేయలేదు కదా.
చేసిన ఎవరు చిట్టిబాబు గారు చేసినా అది సెషన్ స్టార్ట్ కాదు.
చాలా టైం పడుతుంది కదా.
ఒక 10 to 15 minutes పడుతుంది. శ్రీధర్ ఆల్రెడీ మెసేజ్ పెట్టండి వాళ్ళ క్లాస్ కి.
Sir, నేను already inform చేశాను sir. I already informed everyone. It will start at 9 o'clock today onwards.
ఓకేనండి.
Okay sir, thank you.
Machiraju, Kashyap, are you there?
Sir, I'm disconnecting, sir.
May disconnect.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So, how are you?
Fine.